Welcome back to the Tomb of Illumination, where we discuss the physics of the flat earth as opposed to all the lies you were taught at school, where you all got fully educated. Yeah, you've got to know the difference between education and indoctrination. Most people will never wake up to find the difference. Well, we're going to explain how the flat earth seasons change as opposed to a spinning ball. Okay, now in the spinning ball system you're all taught at school, you've got the sun, you've got the earth, the little ball, orbiting the big sun. Doing big circles out there in La La Land. At the same time, earth is revolving, going like this around the sun. Doing a revolution, a 360, that's your 24-hour day, as it revolves around the sun, and has to be tilted because this movement around the sun moves the seasons up and down the ball. Okay, that's basically what you're taught at school. Now in the flat earth system, we've got the center northern hemisphere separated by the tropical gap, and then a southern hemisphere all the way around its perimeter. Inside a toroidal field that you cannot leave, cannot fall off the edges of, or can't get out. We're fixed in the sphere. The sphere, the toroidal field is the sphere. It's not a basketball, two semicircles put together to create a nice colourful marble. No, it's a toroidal field sphere. In there's a horizontal plane of inertia, and we're on it. And everything falls back to that plane of inertia because it's the two forces of nature come together to create that plane. And we dwell on that plane, in that neutral field. And this is why the ancient Egyptians tell us that Earth is from the whole. The whole is the neutral place. The two forces around it circle the black hole. They come together and spin around the black hole. They actually spin the same way. But you can just look at it looking that way, it's going this way, and if you look at that way, it's going that way. You know what they tell you when you see the skies at night, and they tell you, oh, you're living on a ball because the sky's going that way, and if you look that way, it's going that way. Now, see, the two forces of nature come together and they're both spinning. Bang! Boom, this is creation. In there's the black hole. And that friction hit the right frequency and created the sun on its horizon. And this is what we see in the bulge of the Milky Way. They're the two ends of the forces coming together. That bulge is the black hole. The science tells you that Sagittarius A is the black hole. Well, in there is the sun also, but the sun's facing the other way. Okay, the two forces coming together. So the other side is day side. We're seeing the night side, the back of the sun. So we're inside the sphere, okay? So you've got the northern central hemisphere and the southern. But the southern field, so they take the northern central field and you can mirror that to the south. That's just one meridian. A man on that line, that exact line, gets his north and south image of the world around him. It just depends on his latitude as to how much you'll see of each hemisphere. But everybody's on a meridian. So this mirrored image is mirrored out everywhere around the south. It's the anti-Arctic. It's an anti-version of the interior northern hemisphere. Anti is in a toroidal field, it's inside out. Because that's what the toroidal field is doing, coming from the center Arctic and going like this. So out south is showing you the inversion of this northern hemisphere sky. They're the same stars, they're just inside out, put out there. And because it's more expanded out there, the field is stretched. So now Ursa Major and Ursa Minor are now a lot bigger out here. Ursa Minor is your crux in the southern hemisphere. The crux. You know the two pointers, the crux? it's a sort of like a T, but at a certain time of the night you can draw the shape and see it's actually forming the minor Ursa, the pot. It's more visual early in the morning actually, and the Ursa Major is very big. It's very big, and you'll find it's most likely opposite the crux, because the crux and the points are pointing you to the centre southern hemisphere. It's the anti-Arctic, Sigma Octantis. Now we've been told, if you've been educated or know a few things, some of it's education, most of it's indoctrination, but Polaris is a 3-star system. Well, Sigma Octantis being a broader, expanded view of the centre Arctic, Sigma Octantis is not 1 star. They can't put their finger on that 1 star, can they? They teach you that. So there you go. The Northern Hemisphere. So you've got the Northern Hemisphere centralised, South is out here. But let's say every finger is a meridian. Well, I'm getting that slice of the pie, that image out here. That rotation is there. This rotation is here. And it's here, and it's here, and it's here, and it's here, it's there. It's everywhere. It's all out there. Every man will see his rotation, his star rotation, because this is turning. There's a permanent rotation because it's directed from the centre, which is always turning. There's a 24-hour vortex in the north. You only see it at night when you're seeing all the stars spiral around. It's doing a Fibonacci. It's not just fixed doing circles within circles. It's actually a spiral, because that image up there is coming down from out of the vortex below it. The hidden place, the hidden Arctic centre called the place of inaccessibility. We can't get in there. It's where creation is. You can't get in there. You can't go back through your mother's umbilical cord to get back home, can you? No. But in the earthly system, we are still attached to creation, because the Milky Way comes out of that centre Arctic over to the tropical zone. The tropical gap is where we see the sun. Back here is the actual sun of creation. Anyway, so you've got the Northern Hemisphere stars doing their thing here. As they do this, they're mirrored out here, coming around like this. Anywhere. So that how the seasons change on the flat earth system is this, as this turning, this rotation here has to do a full revolution around the centre north, right? If that's turning and it's mirrored, then that mirror image has to be moving. There's a constant movement around the southern hemisphere. It doesn't matter where you are in the Antarctic, you will get your slice of the pie. So when these turkeys go down to Antarctica and say, "Whoa, we found the South Pole, we're at the South Pole," whatever, they're only a slice, they're only one meridian. What about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy? Just like Dave Weiss said in a video recently. These guys here don't interact with the Chinese or the Russians on these other patches around the circumference. They're not all squeezed in here. No, because they're all scattered around here, right around the perimeter. So what happens is, as this is turning, this is moving all the time. So everyone's getting an image and it's all drifting west. So you get your star tracker out there, you track the star, ooh, going all the way around, out of your horizon. You can only track it so far. You can only track the star coming in to your horizon and going out of your horizon. But if you had a plane or something, you could keep up to it most of the way. If you could do 1,000 miles an hour, you can keep up to it all the time. And it will still loop in and disappear because it's part of the vortex, the Fibonacci spiral. So the star comes around, does this loop to come back out again. Loop. And that loop is always behind your night view. It's on the day side. So what science isn't telling you, no one on YouTube will ever tell you this. So over the day they're doing this spiral, But we're only seeing that the bigger journey at night time. As it comes down into the vortex, it's coming closer to the sun. So it goes to woo. So you've got this big journey, but it's spirals in like this and then it comes back out again. It's this Fibonacci. You've got to understand the sun is quicker than the stars. Okay? We won't go there now, but change of seasons. Let's get back to the change of seasons. So what's happening is this southern hemisphere revolution of stars actually winds in and up to the north. On a whole, that does a Fibonacci too, but it's going around every day. And it winds out, or like a beehive, the old beehives you see, where they creates this vortex shape, cone shape. The southern hemisphere, because the earth is breathing in and expressing out over the air, just like the human body does. This is why man is of the earth. Nothing happens on earth that doesn't happen within the human body. Okay? This is the seasonal change. The southern hemisphere is being sucked in and sucked out. Sucked in and sucked out, just like the tides. Sucked in and sucked out. And as the southern hemisphere comes in, remember there's the tropical gap, you've got the northern hemisphere here, that comes in, goes up like this, and overlays the centre north, partially. As it's winding around and, every day winding up, here comes the change in constellations. That's what changes the constellations. The star overlay and this one, coming up like this. And then it recedes. And then when it recedes back, gets to a certain point, two circles over a circle gives you something they call the Physica Piscis. Boom! Very divine moment in time. And it keeps receding. And then, boop! Complete separation. There's a celestial gaps arrived. Complete separation. This field now has its own sun. This field has its own sun. But there's more to it. As this pops out, which is 40 days and 40 nights after a particular date, we get a 24-hour sun all the way around the perimeter, the southern hemisphere, after the 17th of October. So you've got your northern hemisphere sun, you've got your mid-latitude normal sun like Australia, South Africa, South America, New Zealand. We all have our daily seasonal sun, which we view sort of from the north. It's actually coming from the south though, but we see it go across our northern side. We look in this way, so we're all educated that it's all sitting in the tropical gap there somewhere. No, it's actually coming out of the south, okay? But after the 17th of October, there's actually another dividing line. The 66.6 degrees is another division where they get the 24-hour sun staying there above them. Remember, they're on just one meridian, so he's seeing one. This guy over here, he's seeing his. This guy right over here, he's seeing his. It's all explained in my videos, early videos. Well, a lot of them, otherwise you go to Patreon. So we've got the sun in the north, you've got the sun in the south we normally see, and then you've got a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. It's close to 6 months, but it's all, and that's shifting in declination too. That goes up and down like this, you see, as it's going back up or coming back out like this. It depends on what time of the year and what latitude you're on. But the seasonal changes is this moving in, the field winding in. Because on the globe, remember, it's the field's coming up or down, isn't it? On the flat earth, it's just coming in. It's being drawn in. That's what changes the constellations. Then it gets released. Earth breathes in, Earth breathes out. It's like, you can imagine the Russian dolls, there's the varying sizes. You've got the daily cardioid cardioid shape of the stars over a night, doing a cycle around the Earth. You've got the moon over a month. It goes around daily, but a monthly there is a cardioid. If you took like, it's hard to, well, you've seen the moon's analemma. Well, you condense it, make it flat, then look down at it, you've got yourself a cardioid. Looks like the figure 8, just like the sun does over the year. They're all breaking down from the yearly to monthly to daily. Okay? All doing these cardioid cycles. So, and then they like to tell you that all the ancients knew that the Earth was a globe, but they got no idea what they're talking about because they're simpletons. And they're trying to make you simple or keep you simple. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he's got quite a few examples in there how he's secretly giving out the message. You've seen this on my site. My boys in New Zealand gave me this after watching my videos. The first in the world to show this system. They drew all these constellations marrying each other because it's all about alignments, lining up. Yeah, there's an alignment. The Milky Way is lining up like this at a certain time of the year. You'll see. Let me try and find it. Leonardo da Vinci has the same sort of thing. But you know, people don't click onto this sort of thing because they're a bit ignorant. They don't want to know the truth. Well, why has he drawn that? He's got that, okay. And then you move along, and he's got this. You might want to go back and look into this mechanism here. Now, if you get a full picture of it, you'll see it's a little bit like the Antikytherian mechanism. Or the Prague clock. He's got the big system on this point here with the stick. That turns, right? You see that? That does the turning. But down, very hard to see. Even I can't see it. I need to change my glasses. He's got this here, right? And on here he's got the teeth, sprocket. Here, so as this turns, it turns this one. This one moves around it. This down here represents the mirrored southern hemisphere. Only one meridian. Just do 2 sprockets represents the 1 meridian of man. That's why they give you the globe. There's just 2 hemispheres put together that represent the world. Because you can only see one at a time. This hemisphere and this southern hemisphere and a hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. It just depends on your latitude, right? Well, that's what he's created there. He's got the wheel that drives the southern wheel all the way around the perimeter. So he's got a base plate which will guide the southern wheel around, supporting it as the teeth are catching the northern hemisphere as it turns. You've got the northern hemisphere turning, and as it's turning, it's pulling this southern one around. The teeth are coming around, pulling this around too. Or in this situation, here's one. It's just pulling everything around. Okay. So, and there's other examples of where Da Vinci's shown it. There's plenty of other ancients who have done it all. But they want you all to stay thick, and what they do is they come and put their angle on it to confuse you. They tell you what it is. You know, they don't want you to think. So they're the seasonal changes, okay? So you've got that coming up and in, and then down and out, is what they teach us is just happening in the tropical gap. From Cancer to Capricorn, or Capricorn to Cancer, back again. Just within there. Now what we see there is back at creation, the ecliptic plane. Ecliptic plane is like, you can imagine the bird wings, but it's circular. More like a jellyfish all the way around. It's down and out is the southern hemisphere summer. Because the sun follows the magnetic field, which is the ecliptic plane. its energy is focused down on the magnetic field lines of this ecliptic plane. So as it tilts down, that's your down and out, southern hemisphere summer, and it starts coming back up. Equinox, northern hemisphere summer, but all around. So it's like this. And down, all the way around. So as the Earth, our realm is breathing in and out, the ecliptic plane is going up and down like this. It's a diaphragm. The old petrol diaphragms, petrol pump diaphragms. Imagine that. It's just going like this. It's bringing it in and like this. And all these esoteric, a lot of these ancients have shown us that you've got the vertical system of creation and the horizontal of the created. Okay? Creation, created. Creation up and down, creation in and out. That's your, if you just stop and think about it, it all makes sense. So it's coming in and going out. Contraction, expansion, expands, contracts, expands, contracts. So, and then they talk about the, if Earth was flat, you wouldn't see the stars doing a circle like that in the southern hemisphere. Why not? They don't stop and think because they don't know. In the northern hemisphere, you see it going like this, because projection out of the center vortex, right? We're seeing a circle there, but those stars are not doing a full 360 circle. They're just representing that full rotation, a permanent rotation in the northern hemisphere, the central vortex. There's always a circle there. But the stars aren't doing that full circle. They're coming in from the horizon, from the east, leaving to the west. But because we're on this meridian, our slice of the pie from the north, we're getting the rotation represented by the creator back here in the center Arctic, that vortex permanently turning. So you've got your fixed camera on a fixed mount, there's your rotation. But you get a star tracker, you track the star, it's going like this. There's no circle, because you're tracking the stars. You're moving out of that meridian line. That's a north to south meridian, that rotation, star trailing. Okay, so within a short period you've got a circle there. But Earth, being the ball, hasn't spun 360 degrees to create a circle. No. So the stars are coming in and just keep passing by. So you've got one camera doing that, you've got another camera just sitting there watching this flipping circle. Oh, what's going on there? Because there's a permanent rotation back there in the center Arctic. There's your seasonal changes, everybody. Up and down and out. Northern hemisphere summer, southern summer. But when it gets right down and out, after the 17th of October, it splits off. So there's a permanent sun around the outside. And what's the inversion of that? Suck back in. You get the 24-hour sun in Antarctic, in the Arctic. In their summer. Back out again. It's out there. Oh, come back in here, or that way if you want. Out to there. Back into here. But it's forever going like this. Well, not exactly. We're all taught that a toroidal field is just going like this. No, because our Earth has the sun. It's poloidal and toroidal. So we have a system where it comes out of the Arctic, goes to the Tropic of Cancer, drops straight down, along the ground thou shalt go, up out of the south and back over this way. To the Tropic of Capricorn, straight down, along the ground thou shalt go, back up to the opposite Arctics. I better leave it there because it takes sometimes days to download this video, get on YouTube. If I make it too long, it's just going to go on and on. And then sometimes I just cut it and start again. It just takes days. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe, put a likes up, share this stuff, or go check out my Patreon. Cheers.